Alright guys, welcome to another tutorial, and in today's tutorial I'll be showing you guys, I'll be breaking down this design, right, how I made this design, and some of the things you need to know. It's a very very simple design. I was called on by my friend to take a go at it, and I did a design in under 45 minutes. Alright, it was something I rushed, but I'm happy it came out this way. Alright, shout out to Grandmaster Audio Visuals who actually put me on this job. And yeah, so without any further ado, we just go straight into it. Right. So right now we just turn off all the layers and turn them back on to explain as I go. Alright, so turning off all these layers. So for those who know me, you guys would know that I'm very big on I'm very big on multiple artboards. The fact that I just get so dissatisfied in just having one iteration of a design, so I just have to make multiple iterations of that particular design. All right, so that's just something I do. So we'll just get straight into today's design. And like I would always say, my arrangement of the layers is not a reflection of how I made the design. It's just basically arrangement basically of the layers. So it's not a sequence to how I made the whole design. All right, so we just go straight into it. So I do basically have an empty layer one here. I don't know what's layer in here, so I'll rather just delete it. All right. So I was thinking of doing a couple of things. Yeah. So this background is stemmed from the picture itself. All right. So this is the picture. All right. So I wanted to use the background of one of the pictures to do the design. That's basically how I actually wanted to start, using this background because I didn't really have time. So I just, wanted to do this. But after a while, I was like, okay, let me use this. Then I added some fiery stuff background I got online. It wasn't really giving me that feel though. All right, so I was like, okay, let me add something else. All right, so I went online, I downloaded a pattern, and this is the pattern I downloaded. Very, very nice pattern I downloaded. So I changed the blending mode of the pattern to this is the pattern normally. It's black, all of that. Let me turn off this smart filter. This is what the pattern looks like. All right, so I change the blend mode to divide. Right. So once I change the divide, it gives me this very, very good blend. One of the things I tell people is that your ability to experiment with the different blend modes in Photoshop is what will basically make your design stand out. Right. So I added some smart filter. Right. And this filter is what do you call it? A Gaussian blur. A blur. Okay, it's under blur gallery. Sure. So it's to be one of the blurs I added. Let's see if I can get that up. Okay, so yeah, it's a path blow, or is it a tilt? Okay, tilt shift, a tilt shift. So I'll add a tilt shift to this. All right. So um how do you do that? You just click on the layer you want to add the tilt shift effect to. You right click, then you convert it to a smart object first. Right, so that way, whatever effect you're applying, you can easily come back to edit it without undoing what you've done before. So you then come to filter, then under filter, you come to blur gallery, then tilt shift. All right, you can now adjust it anyhow you like. All right, so the next thing I started adding was, or not the next thing I added, next thing on the layers arrangement is this text stuff I've been doing for years. So I added that, just text I got online and all of that. Then her picture. All right, so this is what the full picture looks like. All right, this is what the picture looks like, but it was cut off at this side of at the right side of the picture. So after cropping it out, I didn't want all of this to show, so I had to apply layer marks over this to clean out some of the places, and some other things would be here. That's why I cleaned it out. So if you want to know how I edited this image, it's just a simple camera raw edit I did using the camera raw filter, obviously. Right, where is the camera raw filter? Under filter, you come straight down to camera raw filter. All right, then you edit your picture there. So I have a video I've already made on how I edit with camera raw filter on my design. So you can check that in the other videos I've made. Just scroll down and check other videos I've made, and you see that. If you've gotten value from all my videos, I would just oblige you to take your time to subscribe, like, and share some of the videos you liked with your friends, and also share how it can help them. All right, so thank you. Just have to say that. Then some other things, this lights effect I added on our face to give a form of brightness. Not really a form of brightness, but to just complement, you know, the whole light thing you're going on. See, there's a shade of light over here. There's a shade of something that looks like light over here. A shade of something that looks like light over here. So just to complement it. So if you don't know how to do that, you just create a new layer. Come down to this place you see plus. Then pick your brush tool, pick a color, probably something in the yellowish, um, 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 yellowish color mark, or you could just come to her face and pick one of the lights, the highlights of her face. Then you can, get the light a bit brighter, or let's basically just take one of these yellowish lights because that's basically one of the colors of orange, or orangey or something orangey. I can't really seem to make up my mind because I'm not exactly using the exact color of what I did. So any of these colors would work. Alright, so now let's look for something more. So yeah, something around here should be okay. Then you take your brush, increase your brush, then make sure your flow is at 10%. Alright, and um your foreground is the color, and you have selected your layer, so you just paint, right? Just paint, right? So after painting, you just basically come to your blending mode and make sure you select screen or any of them that really matches up with you. So lighting can work depending on what exactly. So don't be regimented to just screen. All of these basically have a way of affecting light and removing the dark parts of things. So can apply that, then reduce the opacity, right? Reduce the opacity till you are comfortable. So that's that about that. Other than that, lights, I think somewhere here. Yeah, that's what you have there. Then the name Yada is next thing. So this name here, you find it down here. It's just part of the things I like doing with my fonts and the names of people I design for. I just use it to form like an aesthetics. So the font for this is black signature, and the blend mode is soft light. So that's why it has this shade. It's very nice shade over the picture. Then I started adding another picture that was meant to be here. So you see the reason why I had to clean off this part of the other part of this picture. All right, so if I leave the picture like this, you see how dark it looks. All right, so that's why I had to erase all of this out. Okay, so you have also edited on Camera Raw, right? Then I had to create a gradient down here so that I'll be able to put the things I'll need to write down there. So how do you create a gradient field? You just come down to this place that has a circle with black and white. It's your adjustment layer. Um, um, how will I put it? Is the adjustment layer icon that gives you a bunch of adjustment layers. So you just scroll to gradient, all right? So that's that. Then you can now adjust the gradients to how you want. So the right side of the gradients panel, or whenever you see colors like this or things like this, just know anytime you're working with the right side of any panel, right? The right sides are for the highlights. That's where the lighter part of this thingy is, and the left part is basically for the shadows, where they have the darker parts, right? So you can just, according to how you want to do it. So yeah, that's how you do your gradients. All right. So started adding a couple of shadows. I think definitely before her legs, for her gown too. The last picture I added. So yeah, that's why you have this shadows there. So just to make the place look darker, just artificial shadows. I think this other shadow here is for something I was going to put there as a write-up. So then I have Yada, her name. and this is one of my favorite fonts, Androgen. That's the name of the font. Right, so I had to pick the color of this side here. So that is more like off-white. Then I have Happy Birthday Minister, and this is Legend. Yes, yeah, Legend or Legend, anyone. Then this stuff I've done right from I've if you notice this is more like a trademark I put on all my designs. So even if at all you don't see my logo, it's most likely that it's none of that it's a design. All right. So you have that 5th January 2025, blah 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 blah. So you have from all of us at Grandmaster Audiovisual, although the grammar is quite a tautology, it's meant to just be from us as Grandmaster Studio instead of all of us. All of us is basically tautology. So sorry for that. I just put it there. We are designers, not grammarians. Right, so next thing is gradient map I added to give it a very sweet touch of red. So on that gradient map, how do I gradient map? Come to this adjustment layer, like I said, can scroll down to gradient map. Right, so on my gradient map I have um this beautiful blend of red. Right, that's what is affecting this to give it this reddish pop. So on my shadows, I have the main, red. Then I have on the right a red with a touch of brown, brownish red, kind of. Well, let's call it nude or so, but yeah, something like that. So I have that. Then smooth. Sometimes I can decide to reverse depending on what I want. Decide to reverse the the gradient map, the highlights and the shadows. So yeah. So, but I didn't want. I was not gunning for that, so I had it there like that. Then I had to, change the blend mode because if you don't change the blend mode, this is what it looks like. Blend mode and opacity. This is what it looks like. So I had to drop the opacity to what was comfortable, and I found out that 20% was good enough. And the blend mode, anytime I'm using gradient map, my blend mode is always on soft light overlay, the one that gives me what I really want. So I chose soft light, and that's what's giving me. See it without the gradient map. I see how flat it is. Now see it with the gradient map, how rich it now looks in color and all of that. Very nice stuff. So Grammata was the video's logo. Then I think my logo somewhere down here. Alright, I'm thinking of changing this logo, so watch out for that. And I added the curves adjustment layer. So that curves adjustment layer just made this upper part brighter. If you look brighter. So this is what I'm doing on my course adjustment layer. So I told you guys the right side, if you look well safe, you see white. If you look towards here, you see black. So to just tell you, this side controls the highlights, this side controls what the shadows. So I just popped up the highlights a little bit, then cranked down the shadows a little bit. All right, from what from the straight line graph it was, and I made it a curve. Right, so that's basically what the name implies, curves. All right, so that's that with the first what do you call it, artboard. So the second artboard is basically a repetition of this, just a little subtle change in the color grade. All right, so just same thing, same same approach, same everything, basically same everything, same every single thing. All right, I think I just added a couple of flowers here, so but you will not really notice them. Yeah, so a couple of flowers. I change the color using hue and saturation. So under hue and saturation, these are my figures, right? Change them. Then normal gradients fill, right? Then logo, shadows, her, what do you call it? Picture, right? Then her name, your die, you know, all of this. You will notice it still has a red. This stuff behind here is still looking reddish because I didn't have time to really change it. You notice this shadow behind this her name. Let me zoom in on that. Behind her name, if you notice, still reddish. I didn't really have time to change that, but I just had to because I was running against time. So the gradient map is what is actually now doing the trick for me. So if you notice, you not really observe the red there again because of the gradients map doing its thing. So on the gradient map, I had a different color blend again. So you now have here, you have somewhat a form of turquoise. On the left side, you have um, what looks like sky blue. So that blend gives me what you call it is a very very cold blend, right? Give me a very very cold frosty blend in contrast to this that looks very very warm. So that was basically what I was going for. Something very very warm and something very very cold, right? So that was basically the idea. Then added a little vibrance, right, to make the part of her face, this brown part of her face, pop out a little bit. All right, then overall added a vibrance to the main design. All right, so I'm not really the vibrance here is not really doing much. Right, next I'm just adding only vibrance, not the saturation. Vibrance just helps you make color pop. So thank you guys for sitting around with me, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, subscribe, like, and comment, and let me know in the comment section um what more videos you really want to see and how I can help you on this my channel. So thank you and see you guys in the next one. Bye.